Thank you very much. So my name is John Brown, and as was just mentioned, I have done a few things. Maybe more than a few. Okay. But what I'm here to talk to you about today is a theory of mine called cross-generational habit. And I want to present it to you as a theory of a force that really drives design in every area. And I want to ask you, for whom are you really designing? This is a question that's often debated. One of the most popular design firms, or at least one of the most financially successful ones in modern history, always says, we design for ourselves, and if we like it, the customers will buy it. But I think they're lying to themselves when they say that. They're really designing for their great-grandfathers and their great-grandmothers and so on, generations going back into time. They're designing for dead people, but it's hard to argue with someone who controls 80% of the market they're trying to sell to. I'm going to do it anyway. So, despite the widespread success of what they're telling themselves is a design model, and a model that some of you might be following, I prefer to look at things from an ergonomic or anthropological point of view. G.K. Chesterton said that tradition is democracy of the dead, and I believe that design is based on tradition, much more than any of us really realize. Feel free to disagree, just don't throw fruit. This is the only clothing I have with me in this city. Well, okay, maybe some. So most of what we design goes back in time a long ways, much more than we realize. And these following images are going to be award-winning designs from recent years. Electric lights hang from the ceiling, they hang from the walls, they sit on our desks, because electric wires ran where gas tubes used to go, and gas tubes went to where candles and lanterns had originally been hung. Shoes are worse. Back in the Ice Age, we know that people started to wrap leather around their feet and tie it on top. Is this what we do for shoes now? And don't talk to me about high heels. Two different cultures on two different ends of the earth decided that women should be on a pedestal, so they tied pedestals to their feet and forced them to balance on this, and we still do. This is one of my favorites, an award-winning shower. How creative to make water fall down. When I have to clean myself, I would prefer it if the water could fall up, if you'll excuse my saying so. Maybe it's just me. Sure it is. But yes, another award-winning shower. And this is a beautiful set of chairs, but chairs date back to when somebody decided they deserved to sit higher than everyone else. If you want to impress me with your design, design a chair that any human of any age and any physical ability can get into and out of easily. Then I'll be impressed with your design. I'm from North America, so I'm not allowed to criticize cars. But being as that I'm here, I should specify I'm from Canada, so you don't throw that fruit. I have to criticize cars because cars are more recent, and we really designed for our great-grandfathers. Let me explain something. This is an award-winning car, and if we look at the inside, it's far too modern for anything we'll see in our lifetimes. But look at the steering wheel. Do you know why there's a steering wheel? Because people were used to holding the controls of their horses here. That's why there's steering wheels to steer cars. It's ridiculous, but we keep on doing it. The desk. The desk. If you want to design a desk that impresses me, design one that gets up and gets down when I do. Design one that turns with me when I turn, or better yet, just design one where I can easily access whatever I need. But desks will never be designed like that, because desks have to suit this. And if you want to hear the single most disgusting and hilarious example of inappropriately taken traditions, ask me the story of where this 90-90-90 ergonomic posture comes from. I can say the word sarcastically because I'm an ergonomist, but ask me about this. I don't have time to tell you tonight, and it's so stupid. So on to other things. Laptop computers, award-winning laptop computer, and it's beautiful. But the things that they improved are the things that will subconsciously trigger our award systems. Whoa, it's 3 grams lighter than the previous one. That's got to be fantastic. But it doesn't have to be fantastic. It doesn't improve the computer. The keyboard, my second favorite thing to criticize. 100 years ago, there was a disease that caused paralysis and lifelong pain called secretary's disease. Because of the keyboard integration into the computer, it's worldwide now, and we call it carpal tunnel syndrome. Design a keyboard that won't cripple the people who use it. The computer mouse, invented by Douglas Engelbart in the 1960s, He had previously worked for the Air Force, and he wanted people to be able to fly from one piece of information to another, but he couldn't use a joystick. So he took a chunk of wood and hollowed out the bottom of it and put two wheels in it perpendicular to each other, so that you could rub this stick, this chunk of wood on a desk, and it would control a cursor in two-dimensional space. It's a great idea way back then. But even though there have been all kinds of improvements to computer mouses in the time since the 1960s, and incidentally it took 20 years to get on the market, even though there have been all kinds of improvements, these improvements are changing the shape of the block of wood instead of asking why we rub wood on a desk to control our computers. Please, do some designing, folks. Come on. Currently, I'm working in the field of smart homes. Pause for that. Thank you. And the field of smart homes is faced with the same design problems as every other field of design. Because it's been around since the 1930s or 40s, debatably, and what we continue to do is design according to what people used to say we should do. We're trying to make an easy way for people to interact with the really smart brain of a home, but I don't want a smart home. I don't think anyone wants a smart home. What we really want, deep inside, contrary to the name, is we want a home that makes us feel a sense of wonder. Don't we? We want a home that likes us. I don't care if it's smarter than I am. I want it to make me feel good. And if you can design this sense of wonder into your designs, then I think you'll be doing great work. Thank you very much.